try. You're going to lose.
It would hurt.
You're not going to run through
unless
a wall.
it's one of those like cartoon sitcom prop walls that's just ready to be broken because you know that's the bit.
It's automatic.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
What did you think today?
I have never heard "I am the weather" before. I feel like we have sat through how many hundreds of these things in our lifetimes.
Can we be mad at somebody who's claiming to be the weather?
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not sure I love it, but I just think it sounded pretty original to me. I don't know if he copped that from, somewhere some news conference that I didn't pay attention to. I don't know, but I am the weather really stood out to me. I think a couple things. I'm glad they stopped using the word aligned.
Alignment, holy cow!
After,
word of the year.
The first few minutes of the thing,
Four times in
it was just
6 minutes,
just bombarded with alignment. And I was also, just for our sakes, I was very nervous for the first few minutes that we were going to spend the rest of our lives talking about how Joe Brady broke down and cried at the news conference where he was introduced as the Bills' new coach. And I say that as someone who can get overly, almost inappropriately emotional talking about the tragically hip, right? I'm not judging him. I'm just saying, as the new football coach of the Bills, I'm glad he didn't actually break down.
You cry at everything.
Because I do. Because I feel like we would have never stopped talking about that.
I don't know. Really?
I
People would criticize him?
Yeah, I think so.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Well, I'm glad then, too.
So that's not a deep analysis on what was said. I don't know how much of that is really called for. He came across as sincere to me. Maybe a little too excited. Like, just there was a lot of energy there. But that doesn't have to be. That's not necessarily a criticism. There was a lot of. He was just very excited.
Genuine.
Yeah. Right. Sincere. So that was largely it. I mean, the nuts and bolts, like what was specifically said. I mean, about the team and what the direction is going to be. I guess the most notable thing would be that he talked about wanting to be what sounded to me like very different on defense than what they've been.
What's interesting about that, though, is has any new coach ever said different in any sort of detail about defense? Like, has any coach ever talked about the importance of being conservative?
No, that's a good point.
It's always the same. It's always aggressive. Every coach they say they want to be more aggressive on defense. So I don't know what to do with that. They all say the same thing. Yeah, I thought he did fine today.
One other thing off the top here that I want to say before we get into the weeds of it, if we are going to eventually get into the weeds of it, I'm glad that someone in the room finally was adult enough to come across as sincere, talking about what Sean McDermott meant to him in the organization. Like, it took the new coach to pull that off. I mean, both Pagula and Bean took their turns at that, but it never, everything else that was said sort of pointed a very uncomplimentary light at McDermott from those two men, I thought, at Wednesday's news conference. But I thought Brady, that's part of the sincerity, that Brady came across extremely believable and appropriately so. But it took, a week and a half for someone in the organization to hit the right note on the former coach.
If this is in the weeds, so be it. Earlier, Brady had talked, and he started to lose his composure, and the room started to applaud. And that wouldn't have been like Sal, but that would have been, the players and
families
the staff
that were there. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, like they sort of picked him up.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then he went into his McDermott spiel, and he stopped and went for the water, and it was silent. Like, not even the players would have applauded him for complimenting. What's going on with this? But yes, that probably needed to happen. It seemed appropriate and overdue.
I thought there was a savvy pause by him, too. Like, he made that point, stopped and drank water, and then changed the subject.
Nobody clapped.
I know. There was an opportunity to clap. I guess I didn't think about that. I just liked what he said, and I liked that he left room either for some, acknowledgement of what he'd said, or at least to not just barrel into, whatever the next thing was. It was like, I'm going to take a drink, and now, okay, onward.
For all the clapping McDermott did over the years.
Nobody clapped.
I mean, not even the players would have wanted to just politely, I don't know. The press conferences are weird when the players are in it because there's applause, but it's really, at least somewhat for the media, and the media would never. But they all did congratulate him, which I don't think is a problem. I thought he did fine. It was my first really real time sitting down with him today. And it doesn't surprise me from today that he would interview well. First of all, he's tall. People like tall people. You have an advantage if you're tall. He's got a good name. He's got a good face.
Where's that been all my life?
Well, you're doing okay. He's got the good.
It's just hard to find clothes.
He's tall. He's got the good name. He's got the good face. He's got the traits that subconsciously at least make you more popular. And he talks a lot, and he knows all the things to say. My struggle with Brady in the media space has been I don't feel like I ever really learn anything. He's just telling me everything. He's firing everything at me. If it's a question about how Allen played, it'll be about Allen, but also coaching, but also pass protection, but also weapons, but also defensive scheme, but also weather. He packs every possible aspect to a question into his answer. And I'm sort of out of breath afterward. What did I find out here? I think there was a lot of that today. I feel like I was mostly right for having that opinion of him before today, because most of the press conference was no details. A couple of guys tried, but really just kind of generalities and a little bit of philosophy stuff. But I don't know. The defense point is right. I think defense might have gotten him the job. Whatever it is he actually wants to do. Clearly they broke up with McDermott. And not all of it was because he didn't want to use Keon Coleman or something. Some of it was philosophy. And Brady seemingly came equipped with ideas for the defense. He was right. This makes sense. How he pointed out, when you're an offensive coordinator, you think about defense all the time. That was interesting. So
yeah, what's hardest to play against?
Yeah, he might have won the job right there. Even without Pagula talking, there was another sort of awkward Pagula thing when Bean said Terry kind of offered him the job in the second call. And Bean's like, I have to talk to his agent first. And then Brady got a question about it. I don't know why he needed to be asked this, but he got a question about finding out. And he basically said the same thing happened, where Terry said it.
Yeah, right.
I'm not sure that's how it's supposed to work, but okay, whatever. Alignment, if you're stuck on the reason McDermott is gone being mostly that they didn't agree on certain personnel decisions, well, your opinion was augmented today. You're reinforced today by this alignment, which I don't know if that's ever been a football press conference word other than how you actually line up.
Yeah.
Alignment. I don't even know how important it is. You'd want it if you were in the job. Anybody would. You'd want to see eye to eye, like you and I do, right? You want to see eye to eye with the person you're working with. It's just easier and safer that way, but not always better.
Right.
Sometimes it's better to be challenged by somebody that doesn't. But it can get.
He did get around. Brady did get around to elaborating on that at one point, saying just
it doesn't mean agreement.
Yeah, it doesn't mean we're going to agree on everything. It just means but I'm assuming that everyone was in agreement about what the goals were before. So I don't know. I'm not hung up anymore on. I made my point about Brady finally being the adult in the room and appropriately saying something about McDermott, but I'm sort of done. They've done what they've done. They handled it the way they handled it. I didn't like any of it, or most of it, but I'm glad that we're through the explanations and because you can overdo how much you're lauding the guy that just got fired too. So I think Brady hit the right note today, and I feel like that sort of closes the book.
I am interested to see how he evolves as a communicator, and if it does get, and it usually does for everybody at some point, if it does get to be sort of a difficult moment, how he might sound. At one point, this is the stuff where I just roll my eyes. This is again, how he's just going to tell you everything. Every base is covered every time. When they play well, it's because of them. When we fail, it's because of me. Come on. Really? I mean, coaches, if they think of it, they really just seem to feel like they can't lose for that. McDermott did a lot of that. Mm-hmm. It starts with me,
right?
All of this. And sometimes they might even mean it. But usually it's just like, let me just get this out of the way. It's my fault. Now
I want to be heard taking responsibility. Right.
When they play well, it's because of them. When we fail, it's because of me. Come on, dude. Now, you don't really mean that.
I hope not.
I mean, humility is a nice trait.
Yep.
And I maybe he has a lot of it. Again, I think he's believable, mostly in terms of how he comes off. But that's going to get old if everything is my fault, and you really just can't get any. See, I like this about Bean. And Bean's in the crosshairs now because of the thing with Jeremy and the year that they just had and he just had. But he's one of these guys, I think he wants to tell you. And sometimes that comes off as, well, it's not your fault. But, he might not think it is. Mm-hmm. And even today, he got a couple of questions and he took them in different places, things you knew he just wanted to say. He went back to his Carolina, and people make judgments
being
about
judged
you.
about where you started, and they always view you as that person.
Yes, and I appreciate he's more forthcoming in that way. He's also, I think, very dialed into what is being said about him. I mean, when you're like that and you're ready to go on topics that did not come up, you just, I have the microphone today. My boss isn't sitting next to me with his own microphone, and I just want to, talk a little bit. I like that. I appreciate that about him. This is not to be duplicitous either, because I recognize that, and I have had to say this many times over the years to people who question me on it. I recognize they don't have the same agenda or interest that I do. Their goals are different than mine. I'm looking for interesting content. I'm looking for insight. I'm looking for to open up the curtain a little bit, and they're trying to keep it close.
They're trying to tell you as little as possible while also making you love them. Right? I mean, that's the goal of any news conference. I mean, that's why I made the point last week how they talked for almost an hour last week, and all they did was hurt themselves. That is a failure. Whatever you think about parsing through individual points that were made or how things were said, if largely the majority takeaway from you having an no commercial interruption opportunity on radio and TV in your market, and all you do is aggravate people, like, that's a failure. Today was not that. Today was, what the new coach news conference should be, which is, as much as, somebody out there that maybe doesn't like you or me might think we're ghouls just waiting for these people to step in it so we can clobber them. Like, your natural disposition, I think, on a day like today is to say, okay, I feel it. I got it. I see it. I can believe this.
The positives.
Yeah. Like, go all right, let's go get them. I'm not running through any walls or anything, but
don't.
Sure. I like the energy. I like the sincerity, and I like the emotion myself. So I think he hit a lot of the right notes for whatever this kind of thing is worth. I don't know, winning news conferences, whatever. It's a hard day to be mean about them, I think. I mean, you can still do it.
Just upset.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. That's how I feel too. The Bills did the thing, and I always love this, and I always notice it. The tweet this morning with Brady getting to work.
Shorts, by the way.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
He had shorts on walking into the building in the dark.
Well, that's a plus. That's good.
I mean,
but you always,
somebody tell Ross.
There's the clock, 4:41. They can't not tell you, even if it's not like Joe Brady got to work today at 4 a.m. What does he need to do at 4 a.m. today? It's kind of a big day for him to be on point. Maybe just sleep until the sun comes up. Was he watching Senior Bowl tape at 4:45? We're supposed to like that? That's what they think. Maybe people do. Maybe people fall for that. But there's the clock over his shoulder, 4:41.
I did not notice
Somebody's
the clock.
job is to go to the stadium at 4 a.m. to be there to shoot pictures of him for the website because we need everybody to know that this guy works at 4 in the morning.
I guess that's got to be right, unless those are just like the ring camera photos, which I doubt they are. So
somebody's squatting down next to his
somebody on the
desk.
social media team was there to take pictures of him outside.
I'm so sad for that.
I wonder if that person was wearing shorts too.
They got to squat down next to his desk and make sure the clock is in the picture. 4:41. 4:41. Really? Is that necessary? I mean, here comes the press conference at noon. I'm talking to Matt Collar on his podcast. I'm like, it's probably not going to start. He's probably asleep. He's probably napping. I mean, he's been up a long time. I didn't notice the shorts. How did I miss that?
I don't know how you missed that. You're becoming that guy if you're not flat out already that guy.
I'm not wearing shorts myself. The season is more than 8 months or what? Yeah, more than 8 months away or almost 8 months away. Whatever it is. Just you can probably wait to come in a little later, I think. But that's the first impression you want to make. Also, Bills, just keep it a 2-shot. The thing went on for an hour. There's 2 guys at the table. They both fit in the screen perfectly. Why do they always have to move to center the person that was talking where you see the other person's like half cut off? Why did they have to do that? Just keep it a 2-shot. It's fine. We might want to see the other person reacting to the answers that are being given. It would have been better. Just leave. Don't overdo it. Don't try so hard. Just keep it a 2-shot. Listen, now I'm Ansel Adams. Mr. Photography or whatever. Just keep it both in the screen. Why do you need to do this the whole time?
Because they have a director.
Right. You're the coach. You got to coach. You got to change the lines.
Lindy with the line
you got to change the lines. Right. What do I do here?
What else am I going to do?
I guess I just have to move the camera back and forth all day. Well, you sound good. You fell in the snow. What's the first thing for someone who fell in the snow? You seem like you're recovering.
That wasn't today on the way in. It was the other night when I got home.